Last night on Dancing with the Stars, Hilaria Baldwin, yoga entrepreneur, mom of 7, and newcomer to the dance floor, took her final bowed curtsy in a moment that stunned the live audience and sent social media into a frenzy. As the judges' scores flashed across the screen and the host's voice rang out, "Hilaria and Gleb, please join us for a final moment," viewers braced for an emotional goodbye. What followed wasn't just a farewell performance, but a raw, unfiltered glimpse at gratitude, disappointment, and a mother's wisdom so simple it instantly became a rallying cry for her fans. At least you tried. Hilaria hadn't originally been on the season's cast list. She arrived in Los Angeles in such whirlwind fashion that she jokingly confided she signed her Dancing with the Stars contract between landing and collecting her luggage. A true New Yorker, she traded the familiar chaos of the East Coast for the bright lights and thunderous applause of live primetime television. Balancing daily rehearsals with video chats to settle bedtime routines for her kids and occasional meltdowns about missing home, she dove headfirst into every cha-cha, salsa, and foxtrot that pro-partner Gleb Savchenko choreographed. From the moment she and Gleb first hit the studio floor, their rehearsals were marked by warmth and mutual respect. Gleb, known for his patient teaching style, guided Hilaria through complex footwork and lifts, gently nudging her past moments of self-doubt. Off camera, they shared laughs over spilled water bottles and wardrobe malfunctions. On camera, they delivered polished routines that earned disciplined 8s and 9s from the judges. Still, they often found themselves up against celebrities with years of dance training or more time to fine-tune their moves. When voting closed last night, Hilaria and Gleb's salsa fusion routine had showcased her newfound confidence, but it wasn't enough to outpace the fan favorites. Thus came the pivotal moment. The familiar hush fell over the Dolby Theater, the spotlights danced across the floor, and the host extended the invitation. As Hilaria stepped into that single spotlight alongside Gleb, her eyes glistened with tears, betraying the flutter of anticipation and heartbreak in her chest. "This has been an incredible experience," she began, her voice wavering yet resolute. "I am so grateful to all of you, and I'm grateful to my children and my family. Thank you guys for this. This has been wonderful. I'm cheering on everybody in the cast because this has been an amazing time." Though she fought the tears, the sincerity in her tone turned what could have been a cliched send-off into a moment of genuine connection. She wasn't simply there to accept defeat. She was there to honor the journey. Moments later, an news reporter caught up with her backstage. "How are you doing?" came the gentle question. Hilaria paused, glanced down, then admitted, "We're okay. I mean, we're not great, but we're okay. It's a mix." In those few words, she encapsulated the bittersweet nature of the competition, the thrill of performance, the sting of elimination, and the resilience required to bounce back. It was refreshing to hear a public figure acknowledge disappointment so honestly, rather than plastering on a forced smile of "it's all great." Then she shared the nugget that has become the night's most viral quote. Recalling the whirlwind of her first day, she said, "When we got here to LA, I asked my daughter, 'What happens if I get voted off right away?' And she looked at me and said, 'Mommy, at least you tried.'" That line, simple, maternal, and universal, struck a chord with viewers of all ages. Hilaria's parenting philosophy, laid bare in a few tender seconds, turned into a social media rallying cry under the hashtag #AtLeastYouTried. Parents, performers, and everyday people embraced it as a permission slip to fail forward. Reactions online ranged from heartfelt to lighthearted, but the overwhelming tone was one of support. Fans tweeted messages like, "Give it your best, and that's enough. Proud of you, Hilaria," and "Your family will always be proud. This was your moment." A handful of commentators couldn't resist poking fun at the accent controversy that's followed her through the years, quipping about her Spanish flair, while others took digs at her husband's past headlines. Yet, even the snarkiest remarks couldn't overshadow the respect so many felt for her candid sportsmanship. What made this elimination stand out wasn't Hilaria's dance moves or a judge's critique. It was the vulnerability she displayed in real time. In an era of perfectly curated Instagram lives, Her admission of "not great but okay" felt radically human. She reminded us that behind every glittering costume and fanfare is a person juggling doubts, hopes, and the pragmatic realities of everyday life. She showed that admitting we're mixed about a moment of failure doesn't diminish our strength, it underscores it. By the time she left the stage for good, Hilaria Baldwin hadn't won the Mirror Ball trophy, but she'd won something deeper, a lesson in courage that resonated far beyond the dance floor. Her parting words, rooted in motherhood, humility, and gratitude, spoke to anyone who's ever swapped safety for a shot at growth. In that fleeting live television moment, she taught viewers that vulnerability can be its own kind of victory and that the simplest wisdom, "at least you tried," can echo long after the last beat fades. As the studio lights dimmed and the cameras cut away, fans found themselves not mourning a dancer's exit, but celebrating a message of resilience. Hilaria Baldwin's DWTS journey may have ended, but her heartfelt reaction and her daughter's timeless advice will keep echoing in living rooms, dance studios, and inboxes everywhere. After all, in a world obsessed with winning, sometimes the bravest act is simply daring to step onto the floor and giving it your all.